Shall we get started, everyone? All right, let's do it. So in the calendar year of 2023, our reviews platform supported 486 billion. That's right, 486 billion platform requests in our production AWS environment. And our customers enjoyed a 5 nines level of service, as measured at our AWS load balancers and AWS API gateway resources. In this session, I will showcase the power of infrastructure as code and automation and the importance of empowering our engineers with the right skills and knowledge to deploy AWS resources sustainably and in a very self-sufficient way. Additionally, I'll share with you what we've learned along our journey in Trustpilot. So hi, everyone, and thanks for joining this session. I'm Ronnie De Giorgio. I'm one of the senior technical leaders at Trustpilot, where I've had the pleasure to work with some truly talented individuals over the last year. One of them being Angela here in the front. Let's give a quick round for Angela. And we also have with us here today Olga, Rudy, and Alan, 3 of our senior technical engineers. Please put your hands together. I have over 3 decades of industry experience, with the last decade in leadership roles and supporting teams and working with AWS technologies. Please feel free to scan the QR code and connect with me on LinkedIn. I do my best to keep in touch with everyone as much as possible. Once again, it is an absolute pleasure for me to be here today to share our story with you about how we are reliably scaling our AWS platform and what we've learned along our journey. So please do pay special attention to the slides today, especially for the question slides, because we'll be giving out some prizes throughout the session. Hopefully this session will spark some ideas which will help you scale your AWS platform reliably. Okay, so let's get the rules of the game started. So as mentioned, this will be an interactive session, and you'll have the opportunity to win one of 6 AWS Builder card games. To win, you have to follow these simple guidelines. You have to stand up out of your seat and call out the right answer. I love the inspiration. Exactly what's going on here. So let's give this a dry run first with Alan, Olga, and Rudy. So if you can show the audience how this is done, and we'll get going. So Alan, Olga, and Rudy, who is the coolest AWS partner that works with a reviews-based company in Denmark?
Trustpilot.
Fantastic. Yay, let's give them a hand, everyone. Cool. All right, so let's give this a go for real, because we've already started right into the data points. So let's get into this. I hope that you're all ready. And away we go. So the first question: which Danish company's reviews-based platform supported 486 billion platform requests in their production AWS environment in 2023? Their first one. There we go. Thank you very much, Alan. Congratulations to the lovely lady in the blue jacket. Cool. So please raise your hands if you know who Trustpilot are, just so I can kind of get a gauge for the audience. Oh, wow, that's quite a few people. Okay, cool. So for those of you who don't know who Trustpilot are, there are some of you, very few, but there are some of you out there. Trustpilot is a Danish consumer business operating a reviews platform, which was founded in 2007 in Denmark, which hosts reviews of businesses worldwide with a vision to create a universal symbol of trust. Trustpilot is free to use, open to every company and consumer everywhere. Feel free to scan the QR code to learn a little bit more about Trustpilot, or come see us at our booth. So let's get into some more data. So on average, we saw 57 monthly unique users of our website. That's 30% more than the previous year. At the end of the year, there were 267 million reviews. That's right, 267 million reviews on our platform, meaning there were 54 million new reviews in 2023 alone. We ended the year with 1.1 million reviewed businesses on our platform. That's 22% more than the year of 2022. The number of businesses promoting our brand by receiving invites to leave reviews and or displaying their trust score and thus engaging with their customers increased by 16% year over year to 116,000 active domains. Hey, Olga, how many engineers do we have in Trustpilot?
130 engineers.
That's right. You heard Olga. Our platform is built and supported by 130 very talented engineers. So question time again. So we've got 5 more of these folks. We've got a really fast lady, so one's already gone. But here we go. Let's give it another go. So everyone knows the drill. Which Danish reviews-based company builds and supports their reviews? First one. Couldn't even finish the question. My goodness, that's fast. Our engineers are talented, but now this guy is fast. Wow, this whole front row, they got it covered here. Cool. So let's get back into the challenge. So the challenge is that we needed the right tools to support our business by developing and delivering solutions needed to instill trust in our online interactions with a limited number of engineering resources. And we needed to do this in a reliable and a scalable way. To address the challenge, we developed Python-based automation. And that tooling came in the form of something called CFG and TP-CFN. We'll let you work out the acronym for TP. And that enabled our engineering community to deploy AWS CloudFormation stacks predictably and reliably. And we worked with our AWS partner team to upskill our engineering community, resulting in the acquisition of more than 30 AWS technical accreditations in less than 2 calendar quarters. That's right, 30 of our engineers were accredited in less than 2 calendar quarters. So let's take a deeper dive into the automation that I was just referring to, some of which you may already know, so please bear with me for those of you who do know about some of these tools. And just if I can get a show of hands of who's familiar with or has experience with AWS CloudFormation. Good stuff. Okay, there's still a few out there, so I'm going to just go through a little bit of basics. Bear with me for all those experienced people out there. Thanks for sharing. But those of you who are not familiar with AWS CloudFormation is an infrastructure as code service that enables Trustpilot to easily model, provision, and manage our AWS resources. In summary, AWS CloudFormation enables us to provision AWS resources in a scalable, secure, reliable, and predictable manner with lines of code, not through ClickOps or clicking through the AWS console. Again, by show of hands, who has worked with CFN-Lint or has experience with CFN-Lint? It's starting to dwindle down a bit. Okay. So thanks for sharing, those of you who are working with CFN-Lint. For those of you who are not familiar with CFN-Lint, CFN-Lint, otherwise known as AWS CloudFormation Linter, is an open source tool that we use to perform detailed validation on our AWS CloudFormation source code. And by show of hands, and the last one, I promise you for the show of hands, checkoff. So it's even dwindling down even more. Oh, wow, we got some more checkoff, folks. So you'll be happy to hear one of our Trustpilot engineers also commits source code to checkoff. So we also contribute to the open source community. But for those of you who are not familiar with checkoff, checkoff is a static code analysis tool that we use in Trustpilot for scanning infrastructure as code files for misconfigurations that may lead to security or compliance concerns. So these are some tools that only Trustpilot people know of. Hallen, what programming language was the CFG tool written in?
It's written in Python.
Fantastic. Absolutely, it's written in Python. That's absolutely right, Alan. So our CFG tool was written in Python. And our CFG tool enables our engineering community to generate AWS CloudFormation stacks for our AWS resources. And again, Alan, what programming language is our TPCFN tool written in?
It's written in Golang.
Well, Python and Golang. Cool. So that's right. You heard Alan. Our TPCFN tool was written in Python and Golang. Our TPCFN tool enables our engineering community to generate and process AWS CloudFormation stack deployments. Back to questions, because we've got more stuff to give away. Which Danish reviews-based company uses AWS CloudFormation to deploy infrastructure as code to build its... There we go, right there. Hey, easily there. That's very kind of you, very kind of you. Cool, so congratulations to the gentleman here in the front. So let's talk about engineering empowerment. So working with our partner team, working with our AWS partner team, we agreed that everyone involved would benefit by providing Trustpilot engineers with a structured way to improve AWS skills, to improve their AWS skills. Our engineers benefited from having the confidence and skills to develop awesome solutions on AWS, as well as obtain AWS certifications. Trustpilot benefits from increased engineering productivity, innovation stimulus, and adaptability in overall employee satisfaction. And our users and customers benefit with an awesome quality of service, as we've seen. And of course, our AWS partners benefit from the reduction of AWS support costs. We don't call them very much. Overall, investing in training for our engineers not only benefits the individual engineers, but also contributes to the overall success and competitiveness of our business, and strengthens our AWS partnership to provide our customers with a simply awesome experience. So let's bring this all together. We've talked a little bit about our automation. We've talked a little bit about empowering engineers. Let's bring this all together with a simplified overview of our software development lifecycle in Trustpilot, which starts with our engineers, who use our CFG tool to generate the AWS CloudFormation stacks. They then use the TPCFN tool to deploy the AWS CloudFormation stack, which starts in GitHub, our version control software in Trustpilot, which triggers GitHub Actions to invoke either checkoff, which we've talked about, to ensure that AWS CloudFormation source code meets our business requirements, or CFN lint, to validate our AWS CloudFormation source code before being processed and deployed to the correct AWS environment via Octopus deploy. So now that we've seen a high-level overview of our software development lifecycle, let's walk through an example of an engineer looking to deploy a new AWS S3 bucket in Trustpilot. The first step would be for the engineer to run the CFG init command to list what AWS resources they could create using the CFG tool and the required syntax. As you can see on the screen, there's quite a few tools that we've got templated and ready to go. The next step would be for the engineer to run the CFG init S3 bucket command, because they're looking to create a new S3 bucket. In this example, they'll create a new AWS S3 bucket called SRE test bucket. And by running the CFG init S3 bucket command, the CFG tool creates the SRE test bucket AWS CloudFormation stack using the predefined and templated standards. The next step would be for the engineer to create a new project in Octopus Deploy for the new SRE test bucket, AWS CloudFormation stack, which they would then achieve by running the tpcfn octopus init command in the current working directory, which in this example happens to be the main branch. And at this stage, the new SRE test bucket is then ready for deployment via Octopus Deploy. As simple as that. So back to question time. So we got some fast people here. I'm looking for more fast people over here. Who was it? You gotta scream. You gotta stand up and scream. We'll get to the gentleman there who's blushing there. Where's Olga? I wrote it. Yeah, right there. That gentleman with his hand up. Yeah, perfect. So that's right. It's good to see everyone's catching on. So let's talk about the results. Overall, as a result of the AWS CloudFormation Python automation developed by our engineers and the AWS training offered by our engineers, in the calendar year of 2023, our platform has supported 486 billion platform requests in our production AWS environment alone. And hey, Rudy, what was the service availability for 2023? Thank you very much, Rudy. That's absolutely bang on, absolutely. So our customers enjoyed a 99.999% service availability as measured at our AWS load balancers and AWS API gateway resources. While our engineering community were empowered with the tools and the knowledge to commit 24,000 deployments in 2023. That's 2,000 deployments a month, which is pretty awesome. 130 engineers, 20% of whom are now AWS accredited, and all of whom are now able to deploy and are empowered to deploy safely, securely, and reliably from their very first day as Trustpilot engineers. Question time. It could be a change-up now. You could be all getting into a role. I could be just switching it around now. So who was the British... No, sorry, that's not the right question. So which Danish reviews-based company provide... that man. I think we're getting faster over on the left. All right, you ready? Question time. Which Danish reviews-based company enables... that gentleman there with the beard. Which one was first? Oh no, I didn't see the lights. All the way in the back. Oh no, we've got Trustpilot gear for you. Please come by and I will give you some bits. I promise you. But that's right. And in Trustpilot, our engineers are empowered to deploy safely and securely on their very first day as Trustpilot engineers. So what did we learn? We learned about the power of... we learned a lot about Trustpilot today. Everyone's going to go home tonight going, that Trustpilot, yeah. Which is exactly what I'm hoping for. We have a recruitment corner in the back, by the way, just saying, a little plug in there for Jessica, who's basically sitting there waiting for you all to come see her soon. So what did we learn along our journey? We learned about the power of implementing a code-based approach, making it easier to get more done in less time. We learned about the importance of empowering engineers so that they can operate successfully in a sustainable and a self-sufficient way. Arguably, we learned how to scale our event-driven AWS platform reliably. And we also learned that there's more to do. There's more to automate, more to learn, more to explore with AWS tools such as CDK. But overall, I hope that you've enjoyed this session as much as I have. A lot of love in here, I could see it. A lot of Trustpilot love, which is great. So please do not hesitate to reach out to Alan or Angela or Olga or Jessica or myself or Rudy. We're all going to be here today. And of course, feel free to reach out to anyone in Trustpilot so they can share their experience with you. And what they'll do is they'll share what they do, what we do, why we love to do it, and why we love doing it so much at Trustpilot. But thank you very much, everyone, for attending this session, and hopefully you've had as much fun as I have. Thank you.